Good day, dear students. I'm Teacher Blessing A. Jobson, and today our topic is all about coping with stress, dying, and death. And we also have types and management of common mental disorders. Let's start first with coping with stress, dying, and death. There are two parts to coping stress. First, being able to tolerate stress. That means to function reasonably well in a stressful situations and get through them. The second one is recovering. It means getting back to normal when the stressful situation is over. If you feel you are stressed, don't face it alone. There are people who can provide you support in these stressful situations, like your family, friends, teachers, or even guidance counselors. There are helpful ways in coping with stress. First, don't think you can manage and control everything. Number 2, do something you enjoy every day. Number 3, get all the restful sleep you need to feel your best. Number 4, make a positive face-to-face connection with people whom you trust or you feel secured. There is what we call stress management skills, and these are the techniques that can be used to cope with harmful effects produced by stress. And first is we have number 1, focuses on doing something about the cause of stress, like learning and using responsible decision-making skills can solve the stressor that is causing the stress. And second stress management skill is keeping the body healthy to relieve anxiety. An example is exercising and eating a healthful diet are effective skills of this kind. According to Meeks, there are ways to manage stress. Number 1, use responsible decision-making skills. When you're faced with a difficult problem, try to relax and think of the best solution for it. Number 2, rest, relax, and sleep well. When you are resting, your blood pressure lowers, heart rate slows, and muscles relax. After sleep, you will feel invigorated and ready to face the day's challenges. Number 3, stretch your bones and muscles. Physical activities release tension in the body and provide a relaxing feeling. Number 4, plan, work it, and plan it again. One of the causes of stress is not being able to finish the tasks that are needed for the day. To manage time well, it is best to keep a daily schedule of your activities. Remember to identify your priorities for the day and do these things first, then accomplish the less important ones. Next is write experiences in journal. Narrate your successes and winning moments in a journal diary. Looking back at happy memories will enable you to have a good and healthy mood, ready to face any challenge. Number 6, never hesitate to talk with parents and adults. Keeping your worries and problems to yourself will not help you manage stress. It is best to find comfort and advice from people who know you a lot. And this could be your parents, relatives, or even your teachers. They may give you a different perspective and solutions to your difficult problems. Remember that the positive change starts in you. Reframe your outlook. Reframing means changing your outlook in order to see a situation in a more positive way. It is usually easy to identify whether a person is stressed or not. Again, stress is the physical response of the body. Therefore, one may feel and experience different changes in the health condition. The body changes that occur from experiencing stress is called General Adaptation Syndrome or GAS. According to Hans Selye, 1936, and Sincero, 2012, there are 3 phases of this syndrome. First is the alarm stage. This is the stage when a person experiences flight or fight feeling. A person's body at this stage releases stress hormones such as adrenaline. It enables a person to do things he or she does not usually do. Next is resistance stage. This is the stage when the body has already responded to the stressor. A person in this stage continuously experiences the stress, but the strong feeling is less than the previous stage. And the last stage is the exhaustion stage. This is the stage when a person slowly loses the energy to manage the stress. This is also referred to as the gate toward burnout or stress overload. Let's take a look at this stressful situation. The whole street in a community was caught in fire. All houses were burned. For the alarm stage, when the fire broke out, a person may feel very alarmed. His or her energy suddenly raised up and he or she begins to carry heavy objects in the house towards outside. During the resistance stage, the person was able to escape safely from the burning house, but still felt very stressed because he or she still thought about the important things he or she forgot to save inside the house. And during the exhaustion stage, when the fire was killed, the person was not able to move on. He or she experienced extreme sadness and loss. He or she began to feel health problems. In addition, the following medical problems and concerns are linked with negative stress. First, we have the cardiovascular problems such as heart attacks, strokes, hypertension. Gastrointestinal problems such as ulcers, irritable bowel syndrome, diarrhea, and constipation. Headaches and migraines, muscle spasms and cramps, anxiety, jaw problems, allergies, cancer, back pain, asthma, kidney disease, sexual dysfunction, and infertility. Next topic, we have coping with dying and death. Death refers to the end of the physical being of a person that is caused by an illness, aging, or an accident. Loss occurs when someone dies or a life situation changes or ends. And grief refers to the emotional suffering caused by a loss, disaster, or misfortune. Loss and grief may include a change in the family, changes in living conditions, the death of a friend, suicide, the death of a well-known person, tragedies in the news, and the loss of special belongings. Loss, grief, and death may greatly affect the mental and emotional health of a person. Let's know more about grief. So what is grief? Grief is an intense emotion from a loss, disaster, or misfortune. There are two terms used to describe the intensity of grief. First, we have the low grief death. It is a death caused by a prolonged sickness or anticipated death, showing little emotion after death due to experienced grief prior to death. We also have the high grief death. It is the unexpected death where grieving process may be more emotional and longer because no preparation for death was done. So what can we do for someone grieving a loss? First, be available during difficult times. Number 2, be thoughtful like sending a card or calling the person. 3, attend memorial services. 4, have empathy for the person's loss. 5, encourage talking about person's grief. 6, recognize signs of grief that are unhealthy. So how can someone close help dying individuals? 1, spend time with them. Number 2, share loving feelings, memories, and feeling of loss and pain. Encourage talk about individual's death. Listen carefully to feelings and thoughts. Reassure the person with affection, hold hands or hug. Share feelings of grief with family members and friends, and allow time for person grieving. Let's now proceed to types and management of common mental disorders. So what is a mental disorder? It is an emotional disturbance which affects the way an individual thinks, feels, and behaves, making it difficult to live a normal life. It may be organic or functional. And there are types of mental disorders. First is the organic mental disorder. It is due to physical injuries and illnesses affecting the brain. And the second is functional mental disorder. This can be due to environmental conditions or poor coping skills. And these are the causes of mental disorders. First is the life situations and experiences. This includes insecurities in early life like broken homes, loss of loved ones, marital problems, financial difficulties, unemployment, and others. The second one is the physical conditions, and this includes fever, intoxication of alcohol and drugs, trauma like head injuries, senility, and disturbance of endocrine glands. These are the early signs and symptoms of mental illness. First is disturbed sleep for a prolonged period. Number 2, prolonged headache. 3, restlessness and irritability. Being talkative, depressed, suspicious. 4, easily gets tired. 5, impaired memory. 6, isolating self from families and relatives. There are different mental disorders. So mental disorder is also referred to as affective disorders. This is a condition impacting mood and related functions. Moods range constant feeling of sadness or periods of overly happy and backward extreme happiness to extreme sadness. Mood disorders may change sleeping and eating patterns. It can prohibit a person from functioning normally. The most common mood disorders are the depression and the bipolar disorder. So what is a bipolar disorder? It is also called as manic depressive disorder. It is a form of depression characterized by alternating mania and depression. A person who experiences this disorder may at times feel very happy and elated, and then an instant may feel at most sadness and despair. Next mental disorder is the schizophrenia. It is a mental illness with biological origins that is characterized by irrational behavior, severe alterations of the senses, and often inability to function in the society. A person with this illness may experience hallucinations or feeling of being detached away from reality. He or she may lose functions of the sense organs and thinks and imagines very differently than that of normal person. Next mental disorder is the post-traumatic stress disorder. It is a mental health condition resulting from unbearable traumatic or terrifying events. Excess can be a natural disaster, serious accidents, physical and sexual assault, war, and other life-threatening events. Number 5, we have the obsessive-compulsive disorder. It is anxiety disorder where the person experiences recurring obsessions and compulsions. The disorder often interferes with the person's social and work environments. People with OCD normally recognize their obsessions are normal but still behave the same. We also have the obsessive-compulsive personality disorder. It is a chronic or continuing and non-adaptive behavior of dealing with other people and life changes. People with OCD have difficulties with social relationships but usually perform well in work environments. They think that their behavior for strict order and rules is perfectly normal. That's the end of our discussion, but before we end this meeting, I would like to ask some questions. Can you identify important people in your life who may give you support in stressful situations? Please write their names on the comment section below.